What is going on, Summoners? We're back here today with another Champion Deep Dive. Today, we're talking about Absorbing Man. So sit back and relax, because it's time to get into it. Absorbing Man's fluid molecular structure grants him immunity to Armor Break and Armor Shatter debuffs, as well as 20% crit resistance. However, it also causes his critical hits to ignore 20% less armor and resistance on the opponent. Now, Absorbing Man's special attacks transform him into altered Omni-Morph forms. His form changes can't be affected by ability accuracy modification, and he can only be in one form at a time. But we'll dive deeper into that later. He starts each fight in his Black Uru form by default. This can be changed to his Magma form on the pre-fight menu, which will persist from fight to fight until changed. His current form will be deactivated if he's struck by a heavy attack while recovering from a special attack. When this happens, his form can't be deactivated in this way again for 20 seconds. Absorbing Man is able to reduce the duration of his opponent's Indestructible, Immortality, Unstoppable, and Unblockable buffs by 90%. And his current form is paused for 3 seconds. Whenever a buff expires on the opponent, or he's immune to a debuff, his light attack will also pause his current form for 6 seconds when using it to interrupt the opponent's light, medium, or heavy attacks. Pausing forms in this way will inflict a vulnerability passive of 388 potency for 15 seconds, maxing out at 5 stacks. If Absorbing Man would enter a form that is already active, he instead refines that form, refreshing its duration, and grants additional benefits. While his form is refined, his special attacks are unblockable, and personal bursts of damage benefit from 300% of his critical damage multiplier each time he lands a critical hit. These additional bursts of damage cannot have their ability accuracy modified. Furthermore, when Absorbing Man blocks a hit in a refined form, he'll reduce the opponent's ability power rate by 72% until he stops blocking. All of the power denied is then transferred to him instead. When Absorbing Man refreshes or changes forms, he gains morph charges equal to the remaining percentage of his previous form's base duration, maxing out at 600 charges. Also, he gains 90 morph charges, when he would be inflicted with an Armor Break or Armor Shatter debuff that he's immune to. And with at least 150 morph charges, performing a medium-light-medium combo consumes all charges to refine his current form and inflict a vulnerability passive on the opponent for 30 seconds, reducing their physical and energy resistance by 2200 for every 150 charges consumed. This also occurs when launching a special attack at max charges. Absorbing Man's heavy attack gains 1800 critical rating if the opponent is stunned as the first hit lands. However, his heavy attack gains 19,800 critical rating if the opponent is not stunned as the first hit lands. Activating a special attack after the first hit connects with the opponent applies the same bonus critical rating to the entire special attack and grants 30 morph charges. Now, let's check out his special attacks. The Special 1. On activation, Absorbing Man enters his Black Uru form for 10 seconds, granting him immunity to all bleed and shock effects, as well as plus 8,800 physical resistance. Additionally, all of his attacks that connect with the opponent will deal a burst of physical damage. If Absorbing Man is in his refined state, he can perform critical hits and trigger personal bursts of damage through the opponent's block. With the Special 2, Absorbing Man will enter his Magma form for 18 seconds, granting him immunity to all Incinerate, Cold Snap, and Frostbite effects, as well as plus 8,800 energy resistance. Additionally, when he's in his Magma form, all of his attacks deal energy damage instead of physical, and attacks that connect with the opponent will deal a burst of energy damage. If Absorbing Man is in his refined state, any contact he makes with the opponent will inflict an Incinerate passive, dealing energy damage over 1 second. the Special 3. At the end of this attack, Absorbing Man activates his most recent form in its refined state. This form is paused for 15 seconds, and while this pause is active, he gains plus 8800 critical rating. He'll also gain an indefinite cruelty passive, increasing his critical damage rating, and will gain a second cruelty passive if a refined form was already active. These max out at 5 stacks. Now, let's check out his signature ability. When awakened, Absorbing Man's Omni-Morph forms last up to 40% longer. Also, when he consumes his morph charges, he gains a non-stacking regeneration passive, healing up to 30% of his missing health over 12 seconds. When fighting as a defender, this effect also triggers each time Absorbing Man enters or refreshes any form. Absorbing Man's personal regen effects pause for 3 seconds whenever he's struck with true damage, and are removed if his form is deactivated early. Now let's take him out for a spin in the champion rotation. For this fight, we'll focus on his Black Uru form. To begin, focus on interrupting the opponent with your light attack to keep your form paused and stack vulnerability passives. From here, build above a bar of power, and if possible, bait a special attack or a heavy attack, but then counter your opponent's attack with your heavy attack, but cancel into your own special attack after the first hit lands. Now that your form is refined, continue keeping it paused and repeat the process again while building up your morph charges. Once you've gained at least 150 charges, you can use a medium-light-medium combo to consume your charges, gain a regeneration passive, and inflict the opponent with a potent 30-second vulnerability. All that's left is to continue this process until the opponent is knocked out. Now, in longer fights, you could launch your Special 3 a few times while in a refined form to stack up to 5 cruelty passives, and juice up that burst damage from your Special 1 even further. The higher his critical damage rating goes, the juicier it'll be. Now, let's check out some of his notable synergies. Rogue's Romance. With Titania on the team, Absorbing Man's medium and heavy attacks gain 600 critical damage rating. As for Titania, she gains immunity to all bleed effects. The Worthy. With Thor or Jane Foster on the team, Absorbing Man's second medium attack inflicts an armor break debuff for 9 seconds, maxing out at 5 stacks. With Thor, his heavy attacks inflict an armor break debuff for 4.5 seconds, maxing out at 2 stacks. And as for Jane Foster, when facing Cosmic Champions, she inflicts degeneration effects instead of shocks, and these count as shocks for all of her personal abilities. Hands-on approach. With Rogue on the team, Absorbing Man reduces the duration of non-damaging debuffs other than stun by 50%. And as for Rogue, the timer for her replicated buffs is paused during the opponent's special attacks. Sins of the Father. With Daredevil Hell's Kitchen on the team, while at or below 15 in his combo meter, Absorbing Man gains plus 1000 block proficiency, and while above 15 hits, he'll gain plus 1000 critical rate. As for Daredevil, his personal buffs last for an additional 7 seconds. The Green Door. With Immortal Hulk, or Immortal Abomination on the team, Absorbing Man gains immunity to all poison effects, and his Omni-Morph forms last for 3 seconds longer. With Immortal Hulk, his immortality gains plus 20% ability accuracy. And as for Immortal Abomination, he gains increased energy resistance for each poison effect on him. Did you see a synergy that absorbed your attention? Thinking of a new synergy team? Let us know your thoughts below, and let's discuss. Thank you for watching this Champion Deep Dive for Absorbing Man. And hey, if you liked the video, and you want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the battle realm!